Hello, everybody. Let's go ahead and get started with your reading. Let's see what the cards have to say about the energy. Okay, wow, we've got a few cards out. I don't want to take this many, but balance, spirituality, and practicality. Confidence is your key to success. Nothing is going to come of this situation, so make sure that you work on your fears. This is really talking about, being very practical, very grounded. I do feel like I am going to go ahead and take these. Let's talk about these for a minute. I feel like maybe there's something that you've been going round and round about, and I feel like you just need to stay in the vibe of success, regardless of whatever the fuck is playing on in the background. Okay. Whether that's, financial issues or, what am I going to do about this job? Or what am I going to do about any of this stuff? It's saying just, honestly, just all these fears that you're conjuring up in your mind are not even real, okay? They're not real, all right? So we want to be really, really mindful that we are not making mountains out of molehills. That's what I get from this. What's at the bottom of the deck, Spirit? Wow, conclusions are within reach. So whatever is going on in your life, I feel because you're not seeing progress or, tangible results, I feel like that's where this fear is coming in. It's almost like, maybe a fear of, I'm running out of time, or this is never going to come together, or, fill in the blank. I don't necessarily feel that way. I feel like it's more of a fear, and whatever that fear is it's not real. Okay. And maybe for some of you, maybe that's something that you do a lot. So maybe reaching out to somebody, talking to somebody, a counselor, an advisor of sorts. I don't believe in mainstream counseling personally. I'm not going to lie. I'm not into therapy and that kind of shit, because I just feel like you're making their fucking car payments. But I do feel like, maybe some of them do work. I've never found one that did. So no offense if you are one. I don't agree with it. I'm more of like a spiritual being, and I need to be told what's really going on and not this fictitious bullshit that you read in a fucking book. So, and maybe that's the problem, maybe we're focusing on what other people are saying, and maybe we just need to kind of go within. I think that maybe for some of you, it's time for you to unplug for a while. Maybe that's unplug from the TV, unplug from all the bullshit that's going on in the world today. Unplug with everything. If you're worried about this whole, look at the cryptocurrency world and Bitcoin and FTX and all that bullshit right now. And then we've got the government. We've got, Bill Gates trying to control the fucking world. And we've got, murder hornets and this big old scary C word that everybody keeps talking about, I think you just need to go out in nature and completely unplug. Go enjoy yourself and maybe take a freaking nap. I feel like sometimes when we're awake, we're standing in the midst of all of our blessings. So I do feel like, it would be a really good time just to kind of lie low a little bit and let things kind of work themselves out. Be more go with the flow, because we do have, the mutable signs here, but then we've got the two fixed signs, plus we got this full moon eclipse, which is the overall energy. And we just had a full moon eclipse in Taurus just like last week. So, or over the weekend or whatever. My days are running into each other. I'm sure yours are too, because there's been so much shit going on for the last couple of years. So with that said, it's like you need to be mutable, but it's almost like you're fixed in the way that you want things. And, I think that you just need to be confident that everything is going to work out in your best interest. And I think that you need to be confident that anything that is meant for you will never pass you by. I think that, ask yourself why you're doing certain things. Is it because you value that? Try to separate your emotion from some of the things that you do. It's like we have an emotion towards everything that we do. We're emotionally motivated human beings. But if you could get to a point where you are so just, if it happens, great. If it doesn't happen, great. Either way, it doesn't fucking matter. You are completely unfuckwithable. You detach from the outcome of the situation. And I think that that's what we need right now. We need major detachment. And, the world's going to hell in a handbasket. It's going to shit. Not gonna lie. That's the truth. But positive thinking will bring more positive outcomes, and sending up that higher vibe, of unconditional love. And that's what Leo talks about, unconditional love. It's where have you been giving away your power? Pluto and, Leo is the king, the king of the castle. It's all about me and my, whatever. And then, Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, which is power, so it's like, are you giving away your power in negative thoughts? Are you giving away your power, with, an attachment? I think that you need to get practical about the things that you're doing. I think that you need to get practical about, for some of you, it's investments, I talked about this on one of my other videos, like, okay, I wanted to invest in something, and the person's not being reasonable. And they need to like really take a step back and go, where is this going to benefit both of us where we both feel comfortable? And he's way out, overvaluing something. And me, I just don't see it at that, and so we have to get past his vision of how he sees things, and so that he can get practical about what it's really worth. So there's a matter of, I'm fine just where I am. I don't need the thing, so to speak. So I have time to continue to move forward and go find something else, because anything that is meant for me will never pass me by. And if this person doesn't take action, then somebody else, the universe will bring in someone else who will. And I'm going to get it something even better. So I'm really not worried about anything. So you have to get to that level of unfuckwithable. Me, I'm not desperate. And that can have a little bit of desperation when we're running off of fear. People can become desperate, okay? It's just like with what happened with that whole FTX thing, And P.S., that guy's going to get busted. Like that, everybody who was connected to that whole scheme, those people they're going to get wiped out. Just FYI, they're going to go to jail. There is treason. This is treason. And we all know the debt for treason, right? But of course, nowadays, if it was you and me, it would be treason. But, somebody who's connected to all the politicians and whatnot, we all know how that goes. It's not what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So keep that in mind. But anyway, you got to get to this level of, like not fearing everything, because, when we fear death or we fear sickness or we fear, loss of money, the universe goes, okay, checkmate. Like, okay, now everything that you have feared has been, now it's in your conscious awareness, and it's right in front of you. You have materialized this fear. So what are you going to do now that you've been matched with it? Okay, now, for those of you who overcome those fears, it's like, but did you die? The universe doesn't give a shit about your emotions. It doesn't give a fuck about your feelings. The thing is did you die? Did that take anything from you? So, prime example, I was so, like, all I ever wanted my entire life was to move to Hawaii. All I ever wanted was to move to fucking Hawaii. That was my biggest fear, or my biggest want. But my fear was that if I moved to Hawaii, that there would be a volcano. And the only thing I have a volcano to base that off of, as a younger individual, was Dante's Peak. If you guys remember that movie, for those of you who are, Generation X. So, there was this movie called Dante's Peak, and it was about, this volcano that blew, and they're running for their lives, and, everything's getting demolished. And so I have this vision of that in my heart and mind. So my entire time I'm like, I can't do that. I can't do that. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, you know what? I let that fear go. I still feared it, but I ended up moving to Hawaii anyway. So literally right after, I'm not even kidding, right after I moved there in November of 2017, you can go look this up. I moved to Hawaii, and then I think it was only like not even a year. I mean, no, it wasn't even a year. It was only a few months later that I had moved there, and the fucking volcano goes off. Checkmate. The whole reason why I wouldn't move to Hawaii for 35, well, I mean, I was a kid, but I moved to Hawaii at 38, right? And all those years, my fear, which was impractical and not even real, it was invalid, false evidence appearing real, because I watched Hollywood And I based my fear off of that illusion. And that's all it was. So nothing even happened. I mean, yeah, we lost some tourists. It did wean out the weenies. Anybody who couldn't handle Hawaii left at that time. Yeah, I lost my job, but at the same time, I gained so much more and I overcame my fear. So at the end of the day, the universe asked me, but did you die? So that's kind of what I'm getting out of these cards. So working through those unfounded fears, maybe doing your research, and then just kind of sitting back and, like I said, disconnecting from the world, going and, connecting into nature, or, rolling up in a blanket and meditating and reading a good book. And just know that whatever is meant for you is on its way in if you can allow it to flow. But, you're over here with these, it looks like tumultuous waters, and Scorpio does rule the ocean. So, hey, you guys, just FYI, there could be some type of, this is a side note. Be careful of hurricanes or tsunamis or, and I'm not trying to fearmonger or any of that kind of stuff, but, be mindful, for those of you of my followers who are in Hawaii, just be mindful of the ocean right now. There might be, an undercurrent or something like that. Okay. Just be more aware, because eclipses also do rule the tides, ebbs and flows of the ocean. So I know I'm talking to you guys about, not fearing anything, but maybe for some of you, you have a fear of the ocean. So, for those of you who maybe it is an unfounded fear of the ocean because you were taught something, yes, you do with anything, you have to use your discernment and always fucking be careful. But that doesn't matter where you go. You could be, be careful of, running through fields. You could get leeches. Does that mean you fear running through fields? No, you're still going to have to go into the damn field, especially if you work in them. So whoever it is needs to hear this message, it'll make sense to them. At the end of the day, just so these eclipses go out like 6 months. Okay. So I do feel like, on the financial front, I think, honestly, the whole FTX or whatever, the cryptocurrency bullshit, I think you're going to know more in January. I think that you just need to be confident that everything's going to work out, and just trust that, I think that these people have already been caught. It's just a matter of exposing all the right people, and it won't be something that the news can keep under wraps. I don't see that happening. I see that it being like front and center, and it's right there, and there's nothing anybody can do to cover up this treachery and whatever else has been going on. So I do feel, some of the people who did invest into the FTX, the chances of you getting your money back, maybe from a different source, but no. I'll be honest with you. I don't see a very good thing when it comes to the cryptocurrency. I will honestly tell you guys, side note, back your money in gold, silver, or something tangible, touch, see, feel, taste, put it in assets, something that's going to make you physical money. I would not personally myself be investing in anything that has to do with some invisible source where it's just, it's not for you. They're going to end up putting a lot more, trust me, Bill Gates has already got his hands in all this shit. So if you guys aren't paying attention to what was really going on here, you might want to. And if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And if FTX didn't teach you anything, it's going to skyrocket, or not skyrocket, it's going to plummet. Okay. And because Bitcoin and a lot of people don't know the difference between Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, it's actually not going to bode well for Bitcoin, because there's that trust, and that is exactly what Scorpio is all about. It's about trusting. So I do want to say, don't put blind trust into fake shit, and, some digital currency thinking you're going to be a fucking billionaire. There are people who want to regulate what you guys are doing. And I think that you just need, again, it goes back to being practical, otherwise, if you're going to invest in something like that, you got to get to a level of no emotion, and don't put in more than you are okay to lose. You know, I mean, I'm not here to give you guys financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. You know, take what I say with a grain of salt. If it resonates, great. If it doesn't resonate, great. You know, this is for entertainment purposes only. And if you choose to entertain the idea of what it is I'm gifting you here today, great. And if not, great. Okay. So keep that in mind. At the end of the day, you know, work through your fears, stay confident, do everything from a place of love. And I tell you right now, I think things are going to end up turning around tremendously for you. Anyway, you guys, I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for watching. If you are interested in that personal reading, all my information is in the description box down below. I love you guys all so much. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. Take care.